It's Top Bets checking back in. We got our top plays and stacks video coming your way. Missed the first look video early on this week. Life happens, and you couldn't get a video out, but that's no problem. Before we get going, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let me know in the comments below who do you think is going to go off this week. Quickly recapping Week 8, we finally got in the green. We put in 205, ended up winning about 292. I'll show you my best lineup that I had. Almost hit the 200 mark. It was like 194. So really excited about that. Excited about the process that we kind of established, and then we will continue to move forward for Week 9. Also, check out the free Discord in the link below. We got over 100 members now, so go ahead and join that community. It's free to join. And check out every Sunday morning the live Twitch show on the dot. That is at 10:30 in the morning every single Sunday. Also check out our guys at Occupy Fantasy, one of the best lineup optimizers in the game. Absolutely kills it on any kind of sport for DFS landscapes. And then also just partnered with Match Bets. That is a head-to-head wagering sportsbook. Also, you can go, with the sportsbook itself, but it's supposed to be head-to-head wagering with reduced juice. So check those guys out. All those links are below. Make sure you use DB100 at MatchBets for a 100% sign-up bonus. So without further ado, let's go. So quickly, let's look at the top lineup we had last week. For Week 8, we had the 3x1 Titans Colts stack. So we went Wentz, Pittman, and Pascal. Pittman's been coming around as one of the best wide receivers, especially young wide receivers in the game. Wentz is throwing to him a lot. Love that stack. And then we brought it back with A.J. Brown. We did this in every stack. So we ended up going through it and saying, you know what, didn't really like the Titans end of it. There was just too many question marks with Julio being ruled out. So we ended up just bringing every single Colt stack back with A.J. Brown, which worked out phenomenally. And then we went with the somewhat of a new strategy, which is the cheap running backs or one cheap running back. In this case, it was Michael Carter at 4,900. Ended up getting 32 points. Absolute beast of a week. So you could start doing that, pairing them with the chalk wide receivers. And this is not so relevant this week because Cooper Kupp is not on the slate, which is awesome. You don't have to match the field or whatnot. We ended up going a little bit overweight on him. So if he was 16%, we had about 32%. Well, actually, we had 40% because what happens is our projection was 20%, and so we just doubled the field from there. If we got anything from Hunter Henry, if we went in the 200 range, we could have cashed even more. After the 3 p.m. slate, we were up into the 1,400 range, and then with that Tampa Bay game, not having all the pieces together, ended up not cashing as high, but we still came out in the greens. All right, so let's get into the top stacks of Week 9. First game we will highlight is the Green Bay Packers at the Kansas City Chiefs. I know you're probably saying, well, Aaron Rodgers isn't playing, so why are we stacking this game? I still think this is a beatable Chiefs defense, regardless of who the quarterback is. And I think I said in my group chat, I said Tim Tebow could end up beating this Chiefs defense. Like, I truly think it's one of the worst defenses in the league. They show it week after week, and I'm not afraid to throw Jordan Love in here. Remember, these are high-risk GPP lineups, and I like to burn money sometimes. So if this is a burn money stack, so be it. You're not going to get a quarterback at $4,400 against a worse opponent. So in Jordan Love, we trust, and I will end up going here. Just check back on Devontae Adams' status. He still has to clear some protocols. I believe he'll be fine. So you could stack this game with Love, And then you got Adams, and you could go, even Aaron Jones, and then you could bring it back with, Tyreek. You could bring it back with Kelsey. You could bring it back with Hardman. So I'll just bring it back with Tyreek for the time being. But the $4,400 quarterback is going to open up a lot of things that we normally don't have the opportunity to do with the Chiefs stacks. So that's why I like this particular one. Obviously, you can go the opposite way, end up going, Mahomes, which you get at somewhat of a discount at $7,800. But he has been bad, but $7,800 is not terrible for Patrick Mahomes, who's usually close to that 9,000 range. Pair him with Tyreek, pair him with Kelsey, which you are getting at a discount at 7,000. Let's see what he's been as high as 8,500, and now you're getting him at 7,000. So a little bit of a discount there. And then you can bring it back with Adams. You can bring it back with Jones. So this is a little bit more expensive of a stack, but I do believe it's a pretty good matchup here, and should still be high scoring. I think the over/under is like 48. So next game we will go to is the Chargers at the Eagles. This game, I'm very, very high on the Chargers on this one, and I don't believe. And you tuned into the streams and the YouTube videos before. Last week was the first time Jalen Hurts didn't score 20 points, and mainly he didn't score 20 points because he gave away 4 rushing touchdowns to Boston Scott and to Jordan Howard. So I don't see that happening this week. I see him throwing the ball a little bit more. He only had 14 pass attempts last week against the Lions. They routed him. So I like to go back to the well here with Jalen Hurts, and then you got Herbert, who's wanting to get essentially right. He had that big game against the Baltimore Ravens. No, not the Baltimore Browns. Sorry, but the Browns, and then he had a dud against the Ravens, and then he had a dud against the Patriots. He's going to get right here. I think this could be a potential shootout, and both throw to target, a funneled offense. So, you could go to Hurts. You could go Hurts side. You can go Devontae Smith. You can go Dallas Goedert. And then you could bring it back with either Eckler, Mike Williams, or Keenan Allen. So that's a nice quality stack here. And then you can flip it the other way. And you go Herbert, Eckler, or you go Herbert, Williams, and Allen. I know Williams has been lackluster. He's still getting the ADOT that we look for. It's like 14 right now. So he's getting deep passes still to him. He's going to connect eventually again. So we like him here. And then then you can run it back with Devontae Smith. You can run it back with Dallas Goedert. So more than likely, Goddard is going to be very, very chalky on the slate because the Chargers give up so much to the tight end position, but I'm okay because when we game stack, we end up being different from there, and you can have chalk in there. All right, and then the third one we will do, we are going to go with this Buffalo-Jacksonville game, and I'm not going to stack the Jacksonville side. This is going to be a 3-by-1 Buffalo side stack every single time. So you're making 20 lineups, go 25, 30% of Buffalo 3-by-1. So I'm not going to trust anything with Lawrence because this Buffalo defense is absolutely legit. But I will be going, a combination of Allen, Diggs, Sanders, Allen, Diggs, Beasley. He's got the questionable tag. We'll see. Then you could run it back with Agnew. You could run it back with Shenault. I know Chenault's been a little bit lackluster. Agnew's probably your best one. You can even run it back with Dan Arnold. So there's a lot of different pieces that you can run it back with because this Jacksonville team has gotten a little bit concentrated on their end. So make sure you're only stacking the Buffalo side and you're coming back with the one position or one pass catcher for the Jacksonville Jaguars, like like the Marvin Jones, Chenault, or Agnew, or Dan Arnold. So just differentiate yourself there. Probably won't come back with Carlos Hyde. I don't see him getting too much of a run with a 14-point spread. And then you can also go Singletary or Moss getting some work out of the backfield. Josh Allen's in a smash spot, and he should be able to dominate like he has been all season long. So, like these stacks here. If you have any questions, comment below. All right, let's dig into some top plays at each position. I'll give it my top 3, and these are basically outside of our game stack. So if you watch the game stack part, those are the top plays of the top plays, and then these are kind of the supplemental plays that you can play around them. If you don't like the quarterbacks in the stacks, end up playing these guys as a naked play with the top plays around them. So first one is Lamar Jackson off the bye. I think he should be able to get right against this Vikings defense that just let Cooper Rush do whatever he wanted against them. And then now they're at home, bringing them in, and I see him, for one, at least running pretty well against this team. But then they also have Bateman back, and they also get I don't think Sammy Watkins will be there, but they got Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews. So a lot of people forget teams coming back from byes in GPPs. So make sure that you have a little bit of exposure to Lamar Jackson. Then we got so designated to return. I like him this week. Just the motivational piece of this, Tyrod Taylor, also because of his rushing ability. 4 attempts for 40 yards. Then he got hurt, obviously, in the Cleveland game. He's going to be out to prove himself once again against this Miami defense that just is horrific this year. So I like Tyrod if you're playing, the just outside of these game stacks and playing this, the naked quarterback that can absolutely get you to that GPP win with his legs. So like Tyrod here as well. And then the other guy who uses his legs more than a lot of people think, Daniel Jones. So he's been lackluster as of late, but you've seen these big games out of him, 22, 29, and 30 points. And, he has rushed for as much as 95 yards. So I don't know if Saquon is back yet. We're recording this Friday morning, so don't know if he's back yet. But if he's not, another opportunity for him to use his legs and differentiate your lineups with Daniel Jones. Running back position. So what we discovered is we are trying to go with the cheaper running back options and then play more chalky, expensive wide receivers. So I'll give you three less expensive guys than Kamara, Eckler, Cook, Jones, Mixon, and Elliott, and Chubb. So those guys will have a little bit of exposure to, but we're going to have a lot more exposure to that mid-price, to the cheaper, $5,000 to $6,000 range. Which the highest I'll go this week is Cordell Patterson. He should continue to see increased usage in the pass game, especially without Calvin Ridley being there. Teams are going to go on Kyle Pitts. I think Patterson benefits the most. I know Tajay Sharp was pretty dang good last week. They're going to probably implement Patterson a little bit more in the pass game. So I like Cordell at a steal at $6,300. You got probably the steal of the week still is Eli Mitchell at $5,800. Only went up $400. Going up against this Arizona defense at home. Cardinals are kind of, I wouldn't say reeling, but they're a little bit more of injury prone on the defensive side of the football. You don't know if Murray's going to play, so this game is supposed to, I think it's swung into the 49ers favored by -2. So I like Eli Mitchell again here. If he stays in this 5,000 range and you're going to get 19 to 20 points out of him, you've got to continue to play him. And he's clearly the bell cow back there with 18 attempts the last 2 weeks in a row. So Sermon, for whatever reason, has gone to the bench, and it's Eli Mitchell's backfield again. So Like him a lot this week at 5,800. And then the last one will be in that same game. Depending if he suits up, I'm pretty sure he's going to be fine. He was fine last week. Is Chase Edmonds. So especially if Murray does play in this game, I see this game. I don't see Murray being as I would say active in the run game. So a lot of dump downs, a lot of plays to Edmonds, and I prefer Edmonds to Connor in high risk GPPs because of the output of his receiving. Connor doesn't get much receiving work, and on DraftKings with full point PPR outlook, you've got to go with Chase Edmonds here at 5,300. I think it's a steal there, and you could 1-by-1 stack it outside of a 3-by-1 stack. So you could go Edmonds and Mitchell as your two running backs, and then stack the KC Green Bay game. So that's another way. I'm still debating how I want to go about the Eagle backfield. So if you're going to go with with Boston Scott or Gainwell, I'm not too sure yet. I'll probably have a little bit more exposure in those stacks to probably the pass game of the Eagles than I do of the backfield, just because it is that wide open. So, but if you can get Gainwell, I mean Gainwell's the same price he was last week, but he was the dud of the week. He had 13 attempts, but they were all in the fourth quarter when it was blowout. So Boston Scott, Jordan Howard got there. I just don't trust Gainwell yet, as also known as Kenneth Painwell from the community. So we'll check back in on the Sunday show, and I'll let you guys know my final exposures on that one, on the Eagles backfield there. So then wide receivers. So we're going to go expensive wide receivers one more time. We're going to have Adams and Tyreek exposures with our stack. Diggs a lot in the stack. So then Jefferson pops in the model here for. I know he had a clunker on Monday night. Well, he's going to get a Baltimore defense that I think if they're going to be trailing on, Jefferson and Thielen should see a bunch of targets. So I like him there. Then we'll go with Jefferson, and guy that if you've tuned in, you see a lot of times in our lineup, and that is DJ Moore. Guy just gets peppered with targets, and he is bound to get a touchdown. He hasn't had a touchdown in 4 weeks. The upside is there. I'm going to continue to put DJ Moore in our lineup. He's at an $800 discount, so $6,400. Obviously, everybody's afraid of the Patriots defense. I like for DJ Moore to get right here. There is concern because you have PJ Walker probably going to start this game instead of Sam Darnold. But Sam Darnold's been so trash lately that I like what PJ Walker has brought to the table. So I'm excited. I'm going to keep rostering DJ Moore. I will never roster Robbie Anderson ever again. He's just that bad. But I like DJ Moore. And then probably the most efficient wide receiver in all of football. We're going to go Deebo Samuel. So if you drafted him, you're very, very pleased right now. But he is he does have some regression coming, but I just don't see it in this matchup against the division rival. They're going to lean on Deebo. We'll see if Kittle is back. They've projected him to come back, but see at what capacity is there. That even frees up Deebo a little bit more, I think, in my opinion. 25 and 26, 11, 9. He's the wide receiver one there, priced accordingly at 7,800. And if you're going to go with the cheaper stacks, guy's a great play to go with the cheaper running backs as well. Then for tight ends, so number one tight end this week will be Dallas Goedert at 4,500 against the Chargers. He's going to be a majority of our stacks, which is good. Then you have the Kelsey Waller slate, and Kelsey will be in a bunch of our stacks. I do like Darren Waller against this Giants defense. Check back on his status. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to go. I also like Mark Andrews. I'm not going to stack this Vikings-Ravens game, but I will have a good amount of exposure to some guys in there. And then our favorite target to go after is Mike Gesicki. He had the least amount of targets he's had in several weeks, but I do believe he gets back to it this week against this Houston defense that cannot guard anybody, especially the tight end position. So hoping that they don't get out to that much of a lead without throwing to Gesicki. Otherwise, we're screwed. But I do like the matchup here at 4,900 for Mike Gesicki. So that wraps up the top plays and stacks video. Guys, comment below. Let me know who you guys are on this week. If you guys are on a different game stack, let me know. Also, join the free Discord below. Almost over 100 members in it. We are building a strong community. We talk plays, we talk betting, we talk DFS every single day. Guys hit same game parlays all the time. We show our slips. It's fun. It's a fun community. So make sure you guys check out that. And then Sunday morning live stream on the dot, 10:30 a.m. We'll see you there.